What's going on? So real quick, I wanted to go over the differences between a Gamesir G7 SE versus the PowerA Advantage controller they just came out with. Both controllers are wired controllers, and they both will work on Xbox. So first things first is simple. The RGBs on it's PowerA Advantage. Well, the SE over here doesn't have anything like that. It's just a plain Jane when it comes to the looks and stuff like that. Doesn't look bad. I think it looks pretty good with the little blue, turquoise blue or whatever they got going on there. But the PowerA is going to get it because it got like 4 different zones you can set up. You can customize and personalize and put your different colors on there and stuff. So when it comes to that, these are going to this one's definitely going to win when it comes to that. Now, what it doesn't have, the PowerA has that the PowerA doesn't have is interchangeable faceplates. So if you have something like the G7 controller, you can faceplate interchange these with a black faceplate and stuff. You can buy the black faceplate to go with this controller and stuff, and you can't do that over here. This is just a normal faceplate and stuff. The other thing that are different on here is going to be the middle 3.5 millimeter jacks down here for your headphones. You can control your volume right here with the touch of a button up and down for game chat and headphone chat and all that good stuff, or game volume I should say. And then also the buttons and stuff are all pretty much the same for the most part, but what you're going to have in these controllers versus this controller is this has Hall effect sensors, which is a huge selling point for Xbox, because this means these controllers should never develop stick drift, other than maybe some kind of hardware going bad inside of it, like a spring or something like that. Where over here you have the apps, what we call the potentiometers, and these things are notorious for developing stick drift. The harder you play FPS games and the more you play and the more you grind and you play, if you're one of those guys that play like 3 or 4 hours, or girls that play 3 or 4 hours a day, you're going to notice stick drift a lot faster in these style controllers than you will ever notice in this controller, because it should never develop stick drift. So this is a huge selling point, especially for them being about the same price. And then on the back over here, you can see that the SE, excuse me, see if I can get it in there for you guys and gals. So the SE has stipples on the triggers and the bumpers themselves, and these don't. These are just normal plain Jane, no stipple, no gripple, none of that good stuff on there themselves. Both controllers are very comfortable, and there's also a bunch of stipple on the bottom of this controller, but this one does have a little bit of a light stipple to it, not really big. But on the back is the other selling point for both of these controllers are going to be the back buttons. Now, I will say the back buttons are placed a little bit differently on the two controllers. This one kind of curves into the controller a little bit versus this just kind of squared off down there at the bottom. They both feel fine. There's no issues with them. You see these right here, you think these are trigger stops. No, these are actually button locks. So you have button locks for this controller. I'll be honest with you, I think it's kind of a stupid feature myself. I think you need to slide it up and put some trigger stops on this controller. It would have been much, much more appreciated. But in any case, they are there. But on this controller, you do have trigger stops. See, there are some differences in these controllers. So you can have these on 3 different ways: on, off, and then, halfway or whatever you call it. And then, you can get the trigger pull where you want it. The only bad thing is when you turn these on, you are going to get less on the gamepad tester or whatever you're playing. So if you're playing Call of Duty and you turn these on, you're going to go slower in a car. So you have to make sure you turn them off, because the app that comes with these controllers, the app does come with both controllers, you can't turn the dead zones down in this controller, where in this controller you can. So it doesn't have trigger stops, but you can turn it on to where you touch it barely, it goes to 100% pull, which is pretty good on the controller, especially for like more hardcore gamers and stuff like that. But those are the main differences in the controllers. Hopefully that helps you in your buying experience. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.